Recorded live from the random secret studios all over the Delaware Valley.
He's the capo. That's not right, because I messed that up for the first time in 7 weeks. Let's do it again.
All right, we'll do it again. I hope I don't screw this up now. Recorded live from... Oh, God damn you laughing.
Yep, that's my fault. This is going to take 20 minutes. Go ahead.
No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. We're from Philly, fucking Philly. No one likes us. We don't care.
Recorded live from random secret studios all over the Delaware Valley.
He's the prez. I'm the capo.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod. Welcome back to the quarantine edition of the pod, Adam.
Wait, we're in quarantine? I'm actually in the studios. I was wondering where everyone was.
That's because we quarantined you in the studios. Did you notice your commute to the studio took zero time because there was nobody on the road?
It seemed a little eerie. I just thought it was perpetually Sunday.
It definitely feels like, it doesn't even feel like Sunday. I don't even know. It feels like the day after New Year's Eve anti-Mummers Parade. Everywhere else in the city but the Mummers Parade. Just dead to the world. But
my friend put it in a good perspective for me. He's like, it's like Miami a day and a half before a hurricane comes in.
Now, there's still idiots out there.
Yeah, there's still idiots out here, too.
True. Speaking of, oh no, we don't want to say that. But,
that's a good start, man. That's a good start.
I was going to say that's hard to segue into our special guest today.
I've heard worse.
So, Adam, today our special guest is the Union PA announcer, Kevin Casey. Jeez, I can't even pronounce. We're trying to pronounce all the players' names, and I can't even say a simple last name like Casey. But we've got Kevin Casey, who I recently realized, because I'm a dum-dum, he's been the PA announcer since day one.
Yes.
That's right, day one. Yep. What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks for coming on, and thanks for already sounding better and more professional than Adam and I combined.
Fake it till you make it.
That's what we're doing.
Don't drag me down in here, man.
So,
this is all you, man.
Kevin, I mean, we've got very little Union news to talk about, but we've got a lot of, since you're a treasure trove of information, we just wanted to maybe get an idea of, your past, how it started becoming the PA announcer for the Philadelphia Union, and then we'll kind of get into, I mean, geez, it's 11 years ago today that the team played their first home game. So I think we can stroll down memory past at least for the first 2 years of the team because they were good, and then we'll skip to last year and this year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. So a little bit of my background. I went to college at Eastern University, and during my time there, sophomore year, I started doing some of the PA announcing for the basketball program, and then sort of built my way into working with some of the teams in the Philadelphia market. If you name a minor league team, I've probably been associated with it at one point or another. So Philadelphia Kicks, Philadelphia Wings, Philadelphia Phantoms, Atlantic City Surf, Camden River Sharks. And then, 2010, I got a chance to be part of the Philadelphia Union, and it's just been an awesome ride. It's opened up some other avenues for me where I've had the opportunity to really do a lot of the international stuff that's come through Philadelphia. I've had a chance to do some stuff with the U.S. national team. And in addition to the Union and Union 2, I'm also working with Penn soccer, men's and women's, with Sal men's and women's basketball, and Drexel basketball. So, I love each and every opportunity I have to be part of it.
And then during all that, when do you actually get to sleep?
Well, so my full-time job is I'm a high school history teacher as well too. So I teach U.S. history at Pittman High School in Pittman, New Jersey, to 10th graders. So
Pittman's way down there, right?
Yeah, it sounds. We're in South Jersey. It's not that way down there now. It's all right. Come on now, you can come across the bridge.
Listen, I'm from South Jersey originally, so I'm from Deptford, so that's like north.
Yeah, I'm right next door.
I don't know if you're next door, isn't? Oh no, I'm thinking Penn's. What's the one where Bruce Willis is from?
Pennsville.
That's the one.
From where? Who's from?
Bruce Willis.
Oh,
he's way down, like past Kingsway and Woodstown and all those hillbilly schools.
This is
we're right on the border of the hillbilly school.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes more
As
sense.
a southeastern Pennsylvanian born and bred gentleman, I am thoroughly confused right now by your conversation, but I'm here for it.
Well,
You got to get across the bridge more often.
I go to the lovely Wegmans of Cherry Hill all the time because I found out doing some quick math, Cherry Hill is closer to Center City than my beloved King of Prussia. So I've cut my commute time in half there. But it cost me $5.
Yeah.
well, that and
Yeah,
the
right.
liquor stores are still open in New Jersey, unlike Pennsylvania.
They
The
are
fact that we
essential.
have liquor stores in Pennsylvania is something that is still shocking to me to this day. So I'll just take that for what it's worth with our Byzantine liquor laws.
Yeah, we don't have liquor stores in Pennsylvania because, like the DMV, they're closed.
Come on over. We'll take you.
And I'm not
Until
even
they
going to
close
admit
the
that I did
bridges.
an illegal run to Delaware yesterday. Not going to admit that at all.
Did you buy any fireworks?
No fireworks, but let me tell you, if my house catches on fire, it's going to probably burn for about a week. The amount of booze I brought back from Delaware.
Aw. You just bought straight kerosene over from Chichester. I like that. I see.
Yeah, vodka with no name and propane, and that's all I need. I'll get through this.
Four Seasons vodka, the best of the best.
Yeah. But no, so we of course want to thank Kevin for coming on. We can't see producer Devin on the webcams that we're all remotely podcasting from, but I'm sure right now he's pulling out his hair because we've already gotten way off topic, and that's just the way this show kind of goes. But
Wait,
I'm-
there's topics on this show?
there's a couple bullet points that he tries to really embed into our
Attempts.
psyche.
It's they're just attempts.
thought they were
There's
suggestions.
not much I can do here.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but look, I'm going to get to the next bullet point, Devin. I promise you, because this is something near and dear to my heart. The beer of the week. So, Kevin, now you are really getting ripped off because sometimes we get food, but we always have a beer of the week from one of our sponsors. Believe it or not, we have sponsors on this thing. But the Sons of Ben, we've got Yards, 2SP, and the Larimer are all our sponsors. So if you ever get a chance to, instead of doing pregame prep, want to come to one of the tailgates with the Sons of Ben in the lot, you'll have an idea of what we have available.
Shoot,
So
I've been doing that for 10 years, but I just do it in my car before I come in.
Well, stop by the beer trailer, you know?
Now I know. Now I know where the free stuff is.
We have a,
Yeah, you don't have to know.
we have a formal operation for this.
So
All right.
normally one of the breweries will give us beers for the podcast, and we share it with the guests and everything. And just during all this time, I was like, I'm not going to beat them up to get beers because we can't even see each other. So I just want to remind everybody, Yards, 2SP, and the Larimer are all doing takeout. So I was talking to the guys at Yards, and they're still brewing. The Larimer is still brewing. Same with 2SP, but they're only packaging in cans because every bar is closed. So nobody's buying kegs. So they've had to lay off a lot of the tap room workers. So they're actually doing takeout beers. So if you're in the area, you can pretty much call ahead or email them, or some of them have online ordering. But you can get your Yards still from the brewery. You can get it from 2SP, which is in Aston, right up the road from the stadium. And then the Larimer, I think Matt Lindemuth is doing from 3 to 7 or 3 to 9. They're doing online ordering, and all you got to do is pull right up, and they'll put it in the trunk for you. So if you're like us in Pennsylvania, stuck without any kind of liquor stores, the breweries are still open. So that might get you through the Coronas.
And the Latimer, they had a lovely drop-off to the city of Philadelphia that came up from Chester to anyone who did some pre-orders. They came up and had like a central meeting place and said, "Come get you can come get your brews from all the pre-orders." So they will come to you. A couple of these will come to you if it becomes necessary. So don't go dry during this tough time. It's unnecessary.
No, with all illnesses, you need to stay hydrated. Not sure if you could hear that or not. But I'm doing my
That was
doctor's
actually
part.
perfect. that was perfect. Honestly, that's good sound right there.
Yeah, so we'll. I mean, I guess it's the only thing you have to talk about right now, besides maybe the weather, is this epidemic that's hitting us, and just want to get an idea from everybody here, and we'll start with Kevin, then go to Adam. How are you getting through this? Like, it's a life without sports. It's a life without, well, what I keep saying, which I can't understand. All sports have ended, but the Kardashians still go on. I don't know how the hell. I think they caused this virus. I'm not sure, but just didn't know what you're doing with to entertain yourself.
Well, they said after the apocalypse, the cockroaches will still be around. So Maybe they have a cockroach-like quality about them.
Oh,
Not that I'm calling them cockroaches, but I'm just saying maybe they have a quality like that about them.
there has been
Longevity.
no ESPN All Bravo on at my house, and I'm like, I think a woman started this virus. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. At our house, we've been putting out some videos that we've been making about sort of along the lines of what I'm doing without any matches to announce. So the first video that we did, I took a trip to the mailbox and announced that there wasn't any mail. The mailman had not arrived. My daughter talked me into going into a Starbucks and calling out orders. And so we did that.
Did you misspell the orders like they do on the cup?
It was yeah. And then she also talked me into going through a Wendy's drive-through and announcing in my announcer's voice too. So that's kind of how we're just getting creative here, right? And then I actually I set up a microphone in front of the TV and announced the Union starting 11 Fridge Edition. So yeah, so Mayo was a huge hit. Mayo was a huge hit in that one.
Did we get a new signing called Sriracha?
I sure hope so. When I see signings, the only thing I'm worried about is how many syllables and vowels are in their names, because I can't take any more Freds. I can't do anything with Fred. What can I possibly do with Fred?
See, and
Adam right, exactly.
Adam is the absolute opposite, because he keeps asking for signings that we can do into a chant. Like you can do, Fred. You can do,
right.
But some of these guys, it's like who's number 5 on our team?
Oh, is that Mate? No.
Yeah, it's hard to do a chant to that.
I know.
DeVries. When DeVries comes up, it's going to be a real fun time for me. But no, I think that being able to get through Shabilko was probably one of my crowning achievements as a Capo. I ain't going to toot my own horn, but that was difficult. Like, you can do Santos, you can make Elsinho work. Even Bedoya, you can make that work. But Shabilko is, that's not fun.
Sometimes it's harder than others. I was telling before we came on here how, all of the MLS teams in their notes have phonetic spellings of the name. So when an opposing team comes in, I can look at the phonetic spellings and get pronunciations. We've had international matches where when those international friendlies are played, there's no help at all. So we had the Chinese women's national team come in.
Oh,
I'm out. I got no help, nothing. And then what you do is you just say it as confidently as possible, and hopefully their mother's not watching, right, or listening. So,
well, the good thing is their mother probably doesn't know what you really said, so they probably thought it was somebody else's kid.
Yeah. One of the more odd occurrences is when we had the U.S. national rugby team played the All Maoris. Right, the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have never seen a rugby match in my life, right? So I've got this guy sitting next to me who's literally telling me everything to say, and I'm just like, dude, I hope you know what you're talking about, because he's telling me to say hooker and things like this, and I'm thinking, that doesn't even sound appropriate. But apparently there's a position in rugby that's the hooker. And so I, talk about going blindly and just faithfully hoping this guy knows what he's talking about. So
you're just hoping you weren't getting fired or ordering a hooker, one or the other.
Well, it's a life lesson. Whenever you're going to say something, just say it with confidence, because at any point there's only 30% of the people listening. It's when I go back and say correction that now 100% of the people knew I screwed up.
I swear.
Wait, what?
That's
think
a life lesson.
You just read our show notes, because that's the
yeah, right, exactly.
That's the mission statement for this entire podcast. It's like, hey, just pretend you know what you're talking about. Say it confidently, because 30% of these people that aren't even listening, including our families.
Right. You make a mistake, Adam. You just plow through it. Right. You don't even stop. You don't even skip a beat. Right. Everybody thinks it sounds great because nobody's listening anyway.
I immediately panic, crawl on the floor, and go into the fetal position.
Yeah, right. Once that happens, you're done.
I got two. There's usually like at least one or two Capo mistakes. Like for an entire half of a season, because where I was positioned, you hear when my original seats were in 136 in row P. So like you hear the chants, but if you're not paying attention too hard, they can definitely get like whispered down the lane where you hear different lyrics. So for the longest time, I thought the chant for Columbus, where we all hate the yellow soccer team, was literally just the lyrics of "We are in a yellow submarine." I thought we were all just singing "We're all in the yellow submarine," just being happy and excited to be there. So I start doing that over the megaphone as a capo, and everyone's looking at me like, "Oh, it's your first day," and I'm like, "It's not." Ironically, but you would think that.
Well, I keep trying to talk him into letting me do the starting 11 from the Sons of Ben section. Let's get a wireless mic. Let me get out there in the middle of the Sons of Ben, do a starting 11, then I'll hustle back up to the booth. I think that would be fun.
We are all
Do
about
they
that.
hate fun?
In fact,
That sounds fantastic.
I was telling you last week we had Tim McDermott on, and it was an interesting podcast to say the least. Which we think Tim's now listening, but we'll see. Once I get an angry email, but Adam and I pitched him a bunch of Shark Tank ideas, and like I want to have full-grown adult males replace the kids for the opposing team and walk them in.
That's creepy, man.
Oh yeah, but I figured it'd be good, like sit there, and we were going to make sure every guy was at least 1 inch taller than the player.
Yeah.
So we're just going to find just members that are 6 foot and taller, and just walk out full kits, everything, and we're working on some things. So we're going to pitch that next. That
Yeah.
you're in the middle of the river end, given the starting 11. I think that would be great. We can have the drums right behind you and smoke. Now you might need a gas mask though.
No, I'm good. That's okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I think we do that. Like, they're always saying that they're going to find something new and exciting to do. I think that's it right there.
Yeah. Maybe if I could I can crowd surf through the Sons of Ben section while doing the starting 11. That would actually be a feat.
Now that's commitment.
Right.
That's commitment right there.
I got to
I
warn
love
you,
it.
as much as I love the membership, I don't think we're the most athletic group, so you might
Okay.
not want to do that.
All right, that's fine.
I resent, but also possibly agree with you. But yeah.
Plus, I don't think anyone in this section, I don't care how beloved you are, will put one of their beers down. So if you crowd
That's
surf,
important.
it'll be one hand on you, and that's it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, right.
So
And
yeah, I
it's
don't know
not
if
even
we're
going to be the
coordinated.
dominant hand because the dominant hand's going to be on the beer, so I'm really going to be at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So I think we
You're
got
gonna get a lot of left hands. You're gonna get a
Yeah.
lot of left hands.
Yeah,
trying
we
to
might-
hold
we
Put
might
it.
that
have to
idea
crawl.
along with the full-grown mascot idea, so we'll just scrap those.
Look,
scrap those two.
Yeah.
you have 6'2" gentlemen wearing what I can only imagine are child-size Wells Fargo full kits, and yeah, that would have been funny as hell to me. Yeah.
I got to think the team be like, "What is going on? No way!" And we would just talk trash the whole time. So I still think it's a great idea.
We've had way too much influence to even think that was a possibility on the squad anyway. But yes,
So Adam, how are you surviving the Corona-19 2020 epidemic? You doing anything interesting? You
So-
working out? You taking your vitamins? You
so and like I really hate being this human, but it's actually my birthday today. So it's like I've been existing in a quarantine on my birthday, which I'm not sure if anyone's done that before. It's very interesting because people are like, we should do something. And outside of like Zooming shots at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there's really not much to do. So that's been interesting. But beyond that, as we discussed in the last podcast, I'm a bit of a gamer. And Doom came out this week, so that was been occupying my time, demon slaying, if you will. Also, Animal Crossing, so I've been doing a little farming as well. I like to, do a little contrast, a little bit of a palate cleanser.
Is that like
after the
Frogger?
Super violence. No, that's very cute though. This is the next time I call you old on the podcast. I want you to remember this exact moment.
I
just
love
want to throw
Frogger.
that out there.
who doesn't like
Frogger is-
Frogger, Adam? It's a classic.
I've been playing Frogger on Broad Street all week. That's for sure. No.
Well, that's an easy game to play
Right.
now. There's
It's
nobody
easy
else.
on Broad Street.
Now it's just 3.5 cars as opposed to the normal 70. But no, it's been keeping track with the family. I've been taking a couple of very calculated drives, not leaving the car, not really going anywhere, but just trying to get out the house. And I've been running. I've been avoiding the Schuylkill banks because that's basically just like a normal everyday activity now, where it's just normal amounts of people out there, which doesn't really say social distancing, but there's enough side streets and small streets around Philly. You can get yourself done a good workout here. So just
think
been
we're
trying to stay
definitely-
active.
I'm sorry, Adam. I think we're definitely recreating
Yeah.
the idea of the Sunday drive now, right? Like before, pre-1950s, that was a thing. You just hopped in the car and you went for a drive, and that was part of the entertainment, was being in the car and a drive. I think we're getting back to that because we did it on Sunday. We literally got in the car, drove, got out, saw a lake somewhere in Elmer and got back in the car and came back home, and that was that was a great afternoon. So we're recalibrating the entertainment levels, I think, at this point.
Oh, without a doubt. And first, Adam, happy birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, happy
I
birthday.
appreciate it.
Yes.
And I can
Thank
definitely
y'all.
sympathize because it was TC. My girlfriend's birthday was on Monday. So
Okay, yeah.
what a romantic birthday that was, because it's you're just sitting there going, well, we had reservations, but we're not doing that. And then you're like, where should we go to get some good old takeout to celebrate your birthday? So it was it's definitely a feel for anybody that's got a birthday or an anniversary or a special event, because you can't spend that with your loved ones, really.
Wait a
So
minute, have we talked about how old Adam? How old are you?
ooh,
I am 30 today.
There it
I have,
is, the big
crossed
3-0.
over from I've crossed over from 29 and the lovely 20s. Turned 30 today, and I was actually sitting down. I was thinking, like, what were the three songs that were very important to me through my 20s, and like they're songs no one's ever heard of, so it's not even worth mentioning. But it's just kind of crazy when you think, like, 20 years ago today, I was a sophomore in college, and I was just kind of getting that going, and now how I've progressed to this stage in my life, and it's cool. It's cool, 29-year-old Adam was on a billboard. I don't know what 30-year-old Adam's gonna do.
you're on a
but,
pod. Jeez,
Let's
you
shot.
just keep
I'm
going
on
up
a
and up and
pod.
up.
Yeah, this is my meteoric rise to the top right here.
So yeah, I guess we don't have that much news, but it looks like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like the MLS said the season is suspended until they gave a date of May the 10th. Is that still current, or did they move that date around?
That's the latest I think
That was the
I've
last
seen
one.
as well.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe that's optimistic, but I guess that gives us
It
something
is.
to, look forward to. I know, for the board, I've been trying to, when we have our weekly meetings, is like, hey guys, let's still see what projects we can do, even though the rest of the world shut down. We're still, planning on the merchandise and seeing if we can get any tifo pre-painted and that sort of stuff. So we're 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 shooting for praying that May the 10th is that we're back to normal and getting on with this thing, and hopefully having
And I
still a
wonder
great
too.
season.
I wonder too if the next progression is to maybe start trying to play matches without fans. If we can get back to at least that stage, I wonder if that's where we go next. Maybe I have
See,
no idea, by the way.
The NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, Premier League, they could all probably survive under that model because they've got such great TV contracts.
Right.
But I know the MLS, the major source of their revenue comes from people in the stands.
Yeah.
And then they'd have to refund season ticket money. So I'm sure the MLS is pushing for, as soon as they can, have full stands again.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the thought for the home opener. I was asking the front office, what are you guys going to do? Are we going to be playing this and we're going to be sitting in the parking lot? And they're like, they're like, we will not play. We can't financially do this without, you guys being in the stands. And that gets me to one point. I know a lot of people, and it's weird. I get these emails. I don't know why I get these emails, but I got emails about, what are the union doing for the hourly employees at Subaru Park? And I'm like, that's not part of the job description. But we have talked to Tim and everything, and I just want people to know, like, I know the union have already said that they're looking into what they can do, but because it's such the unknown world out there, they don't know. They're not just going to reach in their pocket and say, hey, here's 2 games match worth of money, because they're still trying to keep the front office staff and everybody that they employed, and keeping them employed, not furloughing anyone, not doing the Josh Harris move of Adam's beloved 76ers of pretty much trying to lay people off for a day out of the week. And those guys are billionaires. Now, of course, I guess they did see the errors of the way, Adam.
No, well, you know what this was, and I know we were kicking around the ideas of asshat, and I was almost going to railroad the asshat of the week segment by just talking about Josh Harris this week, but it's really. So what happened was, basically, I know a lot of people, because we're all sitting on Twitter, we kind of got this, but Sixers say they're going to give all of their staff who was making over $50,000 a 20% pay cut. So basically just saying, if you're making over $50,000 a year, your salary is going to come in 80% of what it normally is for the foreseeable future until basketball operations or whatever gets going again. And Joel Embiid, with all 25 years of his life experience on this planet, said, screw that, I'll give these guys $500,000 of my dollars. I'll probably make some more eventually. Let me help these people out. And the public backlash that the Sixers got was so strong and so stringent that they immediately, about an hour and a half after Embiid tweeted out that he would help out people, they went in about face. And what I loved was Embiid gave him one of those classic attaboy pats on the butt for doing the right thing after the fact, where he was just like, I'm really happy they did this, as opposed to doing what they were originally going to do, which was, and it's like, Josh Harris owns 3 teams. Technically, he owns 5 teams, but he owns 3 principal franchises all across the globe, not even just in his region, across the globe. He owns 2 different stadium facilities. You're going to tell me that you somehow couldn't find a way to pay your employees for just a couple of weeks? It's just the amount of money, MLS is not the MLB, is not the NBA. And it may never even remotely touch that, There's some leagues, the French league isn't even the NBA. The Bundesliga might be on par with the NBA, and the NBA is probably our 3rd biggest revenue sport in the country. So it's crazy to me to think that the NBA was trying to float the idea of cutting these staff wages when you have the money. You have the money. Steve Ballmer just bought the Forum over in California from Madison Square Garden for $75 million. These owners have the money. It's ridiculous for me to think that they don't, and that they were going to at least try this. And now that's going to have some irreparable damage with the fan base and the players. Ben Simmons has already noted he's taken the Sixers out of his bio.
I saw
it's
that.
on Twitter. Yeah, he took the Sixers out of his bio. It's crazy to me to think that in this day and age, when you had the finances to do that, you would pull that kind of crap like you were mom and pop. The Sixers aren't mom and pop, and they try to pull a mom and pop move.
Oh no,
I think with I'm sorry, Matt. I think
go
with
ahead,
the union, I think we're still at the point where the idea here is that we're going to play, we're going to get those 2 matches that we've missed. So there's still the thought that we're playing a full season at some point, right? So I think you might see them take a different stance if we get to a point where they're saying we're not getting these matches back again. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think as May 10th puts us out of what, maybe 3-4 matches or something like that at that point. So maybe once we get to a point where it's the point of no return of getting matches back, you might see something done too.
Yeah, and I mean, I just wanted to let people know, because we always do it sometimes a little behind the curtain, because being on the board for the Sons of Ben, we get a little bit more access to the front office staff and what's going on. So I just want to let people know, they do have a plan right now. They're just trying to make sure, there's 0 revenue coming in, so they're trying to make sure all the employees that they have are staying employed. And not many people know this, but the Philadelphia Union have got more season ticket salespeople than any other professional team in the city of Philadelphia. So they've got a large staff that they're trying to keep employed. And then once everything gets back up and running, they have, they're trying to figure out a plan to make it back up to the hourly employees, which, by the way, are under Ovations and Spectacor, which is owned by Comcast. So if you're looking for somebody with deeper pockets that can take care of hourly employees, you might want to look at your local cable company that is actually employing the staff that you're every day, your hourly employee down there. So, it's not often we always say, "Hey, good job, Philadelphia Union front office," but they're doing better than what the Sixers front office is doing. So, I want to give them a little love because of that. At least they're doing what they should do, unlike Josh Harris and Rubin and everybody else that are each worth about $3 billion each.
I know I digress way too much on this podcast, but for 2 seconds, can anyone else just notice on how much Michael Rubin tried so hard to be down with the cause? Where there's no way that Michael Rubin didn't know about this happening 20, 30, 40 hours before they actually put it down. There's no way that this was floated as an idea without him knowing about it. And the way that he tried to approach, he was like, oh, this wasn't me, this was a Josh Harris. I'm like, look, we get it. You go hang out with all of the rappers and all these guys down in Super Bowl week. You're trying really hard to be down with the people and the cause. And I get it, Mike. I get it. But you can't pretend when you're this visual. Like when this is out there in this kind of capacity, you can't pretend that you weren't a part of that. That to me was as laughable as anything else. Was Marco Rubin being like, "But y'all still like me, right?
Oh.
Like I'm still cool,
And if he didn't know anything about it, then he's a worse business person than we all thought, and he just got lucky. So which is it? Are you a good business person, or you just,
Or are you just an idiot? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, are you good at your job or are you bad at your job? Either way, this is a problem.
And we're killing Kevin's chances of becoming the PA announcer for the Sixers right now.
I guess what? I actually auditioned for that job, and I was named the backup PA announcer. So crazy story. So Matt Cord is does amazing work with that job, right? I think he is about as unique a voice in the way he does his job as we see anywhere in any professional league, right? He's as close as Dave Zinkoff as we're gonna get, right?
Love Zink.
In their infinite wisdom, and this is during the Adam Aaron era, they removed Matt Cord as the PA announcer for a season. You remember that, Adam? And they put Tom LeMaine in, right? Tom LeMaine's the weatherman from years past, and just has a style that I don't think it fits with the modern NBA game, right? And so then they decided the following year that they were going to have an audition process for the PA announcing job, and Matt was part of that audition process. And so we go into Wells Fargo Center, and it was actually on a Union match day midweek, and we have about 200 of us in the locker room. They're pulling us out little by little. I get through that first stage. I get down to a final four with me, Adam, and two other guys. Matt and two other guys. And then they make the decision to, rightfully so, give Matt the job that should have been his all along, right? But there is a press release that says I'm the backup PA announcer. Now, that doesn't really get me a cup of coffee anywhere, but I do have the press release that says that.
That can't get you in the
That
building
gives
for
you
free?
street cred here.
I don't think so.
I would bring that letter and see if that gets you in,
Yeah, I don't know if you know or not.
Like, I am
It's
the backup PA announcer.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So
The
that's
day
just
Adam
another
left, I think, was the day that job went away, too. So, Adam Aaron.
that just is another point that the Union's front office is better than the Sixers front office. The Sixers and the Phillies are really vying for the worst front offices in professional sports in this city.
They are.
Well, if you ask the people about Howie not signing a wide receiver yet, they might have another conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I remember that story very vividly too, because as a Sixers season ticket holder, I just remember Tom being put back for that one season during like the beginning parts of the process, and just being like, I get it, but and they made a weird move that year. They put microphones inside the hoop. And it was only for like a 2-year period, but I remember them physically putting microphones in the hoop. So every time a shot was hit, you would hear the thunk. And it was just aesthetically the weirdest thing in the universe. Because you just thought like a boulder was being thrown into a metal bin every time a 3-pointer was hit. But
They must have seen Ben Simmons shooting a 3 then.
But no,
It's just to move Matt Cord out of that position. I mean, I'm blown away every time. His unique way of saying these names is just we're all chasing him, I think, in that respect, and I think he's phenomenal at what he does. So,
The usage of Drew Holiday was as good as it got with me. I was just like, his Iguodala calls were great, but you get a Drew Holiday. I'm like, you know what, Matt? I mean, Matt Cord is if he's not in a Hall of Fame yet for that, he needs to have his microphone retired. The guy is elite.
And the other guy you can't snooze on is and Matt, you might remember this more than Adam because you're just a youngin of 30, but Dave Zinkoff was.
Oh.
Yeah, he was just classic before game presentation was even a thing. Zink was doing his thing. So the great line that I remember hearing from Dave Zinkoff is when he gets into a microphone and goes, "Will the woman in section 126 please remove your sweater from the railing?" Pregnant pause between the two.
Remove your sweater from the railing. That is amazing.
Yeah,
Zinkoff. And like Harry Callis were two of the treasures in Philadelphia sports, not just broadcasting, just overall experience. And not to kiss up to our guest, but I think Kevin's getting to be on that level, at least for Union fans, because there's two things that I'll say. One, what you did yesterday I think it was yesterday or the day before on social media, you were doing goal announcements for fans and be like, hey, put Adam Booth, what's your number? Who is the assist? And you recorded it. And I was listening to a couple of them and I'm like, nobody else, no other sport in the city of Philadelphia would do that for fans. So one, thank you, because that was awesome and really entertaining, even though I don't know how Benjamin Franklin Mitchell scored a goal. I don't think that's happened. But
Yeah,
even
you know
I would
what?
shot
Definitely a
that kid down.
defender.
But no.
That was so much fun, Matt. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't sure about it, what the reaction would be, putting it out there. But I thought that this was the time that I should be working a Union match anyway, so it would be fun to spend that time, trying to connect with the Union family. And I think that's what's unique about our fan base is we really are sort of a family. You see somebody out and about in the wild wearing a Union hat, Union gear, you sort of connect with them, right? There's a connection there. So.
You're like a Jeep owner, and you wave at them, and they're like, "Why are you waving at me?" You're like,
Yeah, and the cool thing was
family.
the reactions that I was getting as far as it was a lot of moms and dads sending their kids' names in, and
yeah.
Getting the reaction. There was a video that I got of a little girl who was saying thank you, and it was just really cool to see. I did about 75 of them in a 2-hour period. So let me tell you, man, I in a normal game time, I do maybe 2, if at that 3. So to do 75 was, by the end of that 2-hour session, was like, I'm tapping out.
That's a season and a half of Union soccer right there in one day.
But it was so much
I
fun.
think that's literally more than we score.
Yeah,
Definitely is.
yeah, and I hope to do it again. It was a lot of fun, and guess what? That's something. It takes 30 seconds for me to put something out there, but to be able to have that reaction from a little kid who's growing up a soccer fan of Philadelphia is that's easy, right?
Yeah, and then there's one thing that you do that I don't think Matt Cord has those kind of challenges is the names of international soccer players are way more difficult to master than the names of NBA players. Joel Embiid, not that hard to do. Ben Simmons, Drew Holiday.
Nikolai Jokic.
Now, who is number
The
5
NBA
on our
game
roster?
the NBA game is getting more global.
What's? Go ahead. Yeah.
So number 5, that's our new guy, right? That's going to be Mate Orovec.
Try that, Matt Cord. What about number
Orovec.
number 24, number 1 in our hearts?
Wait, let me get my roster up here. I lost it. Number 24
You get
is
so much turnover these days.
Nope, that's the schedule. Hey, this is fine because Devin's going to totally edit this out.
Yeah, right.
Oh no,
Devin, leave all of this in. Devin, don't take one of this out.
All right. Oh, number 24 is going to be. Oh, number 24 is Mate, Matt.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
number
number 4
5
is Mate.
right?
Number 5 is. It's so funny too. When I was doing this on Sunday, they were giving me the numbers, or they would just give me the names, and I would have to. So I'm like, Matt, my son, my 10-year-old is a huge Union. Micah, who's what's Jack Elliott's number? He would just rattle them off. So I'm terrible at the numbers too.
Yeah.
All right, I got number 5. You ready?
Yep.
Number 5 is Jacob Glesnes.
Yeah, try that, Matt Cord.
That's
Try
Jackie
that, buddy.
Gleason's.
Like Jackie Gleason. That's what I would say.
Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you have a way more difficult job. Adam's going to try to argue that point, but we'll mute his microphone.
I think he definitely beats out Matt Cord. Now I will give props to my guy, and I'm blanking on his name now, but the Flyers PA announcer.
Oh, yeah.
He's been doing that for 20,
Lou.
30 years now. Yeah,
Adam,
Lou.
he's been doing it for 48 years.
48 years. All right, so he's been doing it for 48 years, and let me tell you, no one has names like the NHL. The NHL is the leaders in names that you have never heard of or could ever pronounce.
Lou Nolan and Dan Baker have both been in their chair. Dan with the Phillies, Lou, for the exact same amount of time, and it's 48 years.
Man.
So you talk about lack of job opportunities for budding PA announcers in the Philadelphia market, and That's pretty much it. But
Yeah, you guys can't
Yeah.
even have a union. You don't have enough enough members to form a PA
no,
announcers
there's
union.
definitely a sense of a fraternity. I feel like too. It's, the greatest thrill that I had was when I was Wings games. Sometimes there would be a Flyers game in the afternoon and then a Wings game at night, and they would just put the carpet down top of the ice, so there would be a bit of a changeover. And I saw Lou in the concourse, and I'm fanboying a little bit, and I went up, hey, Mr. Nolan, my name's Kevin. Oh, I know who you are. What?
Whoa.
Like, Lou Nolan knew my name, and that was it. That was it, man. I was done for the rest of the night after that. Lou Nolan knew my name, so that was.
He's like, I know you're my backup, and I keep getting threatening calls at night from you.
So,
Yeah.
Lou's actually he's been in the stadium, and I have a picture of him in the booth with me with he's wearing a Union jacket. So Lou Nolan is
Nice.
Mark Zumoff is a huge Union fan as well.
Mark is a big guy. Yes,
Yeah,
that was also what I was going to point out. We have great commentators too in this town. Like between the guys that we have on TV and even the radio, you talk about the PA announcers. The play-by-play guys can't even get in this town either. We got Merrill, we got Mark Zumoff, we got Jim Jackson. None of these guys are getting in those jobs either.
And the common misconception too is that they lump us all together, right? What I do as a PA announcer is nowhere in even the same league as challenging as what a play-by-play guy or a color guy is doing, right? I'm like literally reading off of a script most of the time, right? So as long as I've got a third grade reading level, like I can pretty much do my job, right? But the ability to be able to do play-by-play in color is next level.
Oh yeah.
I've only had one opportunity. I was at LaSalle University. Cale Beers has been their PA guy, or I'm sorry, their play-by-play guy forever. LaSalle was playing Miami in Reading, Pennsylvania, and Cale asked if I wanted to come and sit with him and do the color commentating. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. It was the most difficult thing that I've ever done because there's a sense, especially in basketball, that it's almost a dance. You have to be in step with your play-by-play guy because you have a brief amount of time to describe what you saw before he has to get in the call in the next play. And I used every sports cliche in the book because that's what I was falling back to. So we were playing the Hurricanes, and they had this 6'10" guy come in. And I said, entering the game as whoever his name was, I called him a large human. And my dad texted me and goes, "Did you just call that guy a large Cuban?"
Oh.
I said, "No, a large human." So you gotta watch out what you say too.
That is perfect. When I was in high school, my high school, Upper Marion High, was very lucky. We actually had our own television network, so we did a lot of play-by-play because I was not good enough to play basketball. So those who can't, describe. So I became a play-by-play announcer for the basketball team, and I did also swimming and hockey. And let me tell you, hockey is by far the hardest one to do.
Oh, without a
as
doubt.
Play-by-play, because you're just talking as quickly as humanly possible, and you're just hoping you're enunciating properly while speaking that quickly. It's a difficult game.
Yeah, so
I just want to pull the tapes of you doing swimming play-by-play because I
was
can't
thinking the same thing too. How do you call swimming?
Look,
Stroke,
so
stroke.
You got a solid stroke.
Touch the wall.
First off, that's crew is what I would be calling there if we're doing stroke. That I'd be doing, yeah. No, but doing play-by-play for swimming is actually a little bit more difficult than I actually thought it was going to be because it's like when you got like a freestyle race and you got about 6 or 7 of these people in the pool, you kind of have to be like, you have to remember who's in what lane because they're not wearing jerseys with their names on it. And it's like if you're doing like a Homer broadcast, you got to be like, all right, I can keep track of the 3 swimmers who are our swimmers. But then after that, you're kind of just like, and then the one dude from Methacton wins, and that gets to it. But diving is easy. Them damn Warriors. No, diving is easy to cover. The swimming part is actually pretty difficult.
Yeah, so similar story, Adam. So Keith Jones, not the former hockey player Keith Jones, but
Okay.
Keith Jones used to do the PA announcing for the Philadelphia Phantoms and is also was the voice of Philadelphia Park and now Parks Casino, right, doing the horse racing. And we went up there to see him call a race at Philadelphia Park, and he brought us in the booth. And same situation, Adam. He absolutely floored me because he had a short amount of time while the horses were sort of walking around and before they got into the actual gate to memorize the horse's name with the color that they were wearing. And then as soon as the horses came out of the gate, he called it like he knew it his whole life. It was amazing to me that, so he said sometimes the backstretch, there's fog. He just makes up what's happening and then waits for him to come out of the fog, which I thought. And he also had no technology. He literally had a pair of binoculars that were rubber banded to like this 2x4 swivel thing. And his microphone for the race was on a coat hanger around his neck. So I was amazed by the lack of technology. But yeah, he was amazing. So I get what you're saying there about that, trying to figure out who's in what lane.
You gotta make it work somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was going to compare that to Olympians and to try to do a transition that way, but there's no way I was going to pull that off. No, I think
wanted
the
to
only
see your
last
transition
last
score.
bit of soccer news we have, I think, Adam, is the Olympics are the 2020 Olympics are now in 2021.
Yeah, the COVID-19, this lovely disease has pushed us to 2021 with the international play, which is, disappointing because, I honestly thought that both the men's and women's teams of the United States had a shot this year to do something. At least the U23s, I thought, had a shot to do something. And it would have been nice to qualify.
My
again.
math, 19 pushed 20 to 21. That's what we're saying. But it's still going to
Yeah.
be called the 2020 Olympics.
Yes. Well, actually, I don't know. I think it's just going to be called the Tokyo Olympics. I think we're just going to call it the Tokyo Olympiad. But either way, it's, with all of this uncertainty, I love the fact that MLS is out here saying we might be back by May, while MLB is like saying July. And it's like, and the NBA and NHL, who are almost at the climaxes of their seasons, are just like, we don't even know. We might not even show up again. So it is the April 11th was optimistic, let alone May 10th or whatever it is right now is optimistic. But it's just like, it's you're watching something that is just kind of, we're in these unprecedented territories. So the idea that we don't know if this is going to be a beneficial thing for the union or a negative, because this means inherently Mackenzie Aronson and Matt Freese aren't going to Tokyo if the team qualifies. But will we even be playing games by then anyway? Would that even have mattered regardless? That's another question too.
Yeah. As a Union fan, you had two emotions. One, oh, thank God we're going to keep our guys. If the season happens, we're not going to be missing McKenzie and Aronson for, the trials, tryouts, going to the games. And then two, you're like, oh man, I would love to have seen three of our homegrown guys play in the Olympics on the biggest stage ever. So you were torn. And now this year, I'm just hoping we have a season. Both two or three of those guys play outstanding. We sell them for millions, and they still play in the Olympic team, and we can root for them. That's like the best case scenario I can come up with out of all of this.
And the other thing too, Matt, is to your point, what you said earlier. Are there any guys on that potential U.S. roster who are going to run into an age restriction? Right? We mentioned McKenzie, and I'm looking on their roster now. McKenzie's 21 now, so he's sort of at that border. But is there anybody else on the U.S. roster who's 22 now, right? Or you're not going? And will the IOC make an exception because of what happened and allow those guys to play anyway?
Yeah, and even with the women, Carly Lloyd's not getting any younger.
Right.
Does her and Rapinoe, do they play, or are they going to be like, oh, I got to listen to my body and that's it? I had one more year left at this level. So yeah, it's disappointing to hear, but I guess that's just the world we're living in now. Devin, are you still there? We haven't heard from you.
I'm here. I'm alive over here.
You doing
I'm
okay?
poking him
over
with
there?
a virtual stick from like a couple hundred yards
Yeah.
away. I'm just like, you good? You good?
So in the efforts of full disclosure too, there's 3 of the 4 of us that have our cameras activated, and there's one that doesn't, and he's the quietest of us all. So we're not really sure
That's what happens.
what's happening.
No,
with Devin there.
he's doing beer bongs in the background right now.
I had to catch up for these beer of the pods that we've been missing.
Right,
so
yeah. So he's about 5 yards deep now. But
doesn't matter if I'm drunk by 3:00.
look, your child's already down for their nap. It's okay,
Yeah,
Kick the
exactly.
And you're
feet up.
still in your
good.
pajamas, so you're technically down for a nap
Exactly.
too.
I'm ready.
This was authentically the first time I put on pants in like 5 days that were real pants. Like I've been wearing sweatpants and joggers for the last several weeks. So you guys are lucky you got me out here with jeans on.
Yeah, because you were crotch shotting us during the pre-show playing with the webcam.
So what happened was the clamshell of my laptop. That's where my camera is. I have the whole setup here, and Devin's not here, so I have to do all of the technical stuff while
Oh,
he's
he's
not
doing
here.
Devin's work.
I am. I'm being versatile right now. So if this is a particularly bad pod for me, it's because I'm dual wielding right now.
Listen,
Josh-
if last week's pod was any representation, it's more of me trying to guide Adam and failing at guiding Adam.
Adam, good
I just
news.
need
Josh Harris is going to give you some of Devin's paycheck.
No, I'm getting 20% of all the ticket salesmen's paychecks for the next couple of weeks. That's what's happening. It's a redistribution for all my hard work for the Sixers.
So to get back to, I was going to ask Devin, how are we on housekeeping?
We're good. I think we hit about everything.
Okay. Do we have anything from
one
you?
thing
or-
I wanna Adam, I was surprised you didn't sign up for this FIFA tournament with all this JJ talk.
No.
You know,
I only want the
Yeah.
best. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want
okay.
to deal with the Padawans. I don't want to deal. What was it? Someone the other day said, "I'll talk to normal people." What was it? Someone like, I think it was like Tony Bruno. The other was like, "I only talk to national people. I'll talk to locals." I'm like, I'll do local tournaments. Bring me your best, or I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, Adam,
Yeah,
don't try
yeah,
out for nobody.
I don't try out for nobody. I'm here already. You see I got tape. You see the tape. You know, I got receipts.
joined up there. We got our friend of the pod, Sean Brace, in there. He's in the tournament. You saying you're bigger than Sean Brace?
No, because Sean Brace missed the last tournament. He missed the media tournament, having a kid and
okay.
all.
Sean
you
Brace
know?
has got
I
a
mean,
newborn.
Gotcha.
He wants out of that house as bad as he can get.
Sean has a child. No, but it's seriously. He has legitimately. He missed the last one, so this is him making up for the last one. But yeah, no, I played in the last media one. You know, when they put me in front of the big screen at Subaru Park with the Jay Ajayi, that's the next time you see me on the sticks.
To bring Kevin up to date, that's the other idea we pitched to Tim McDermott. Was we wanted a one-on-one Jay Ajayi versus Adam Booth on the brand new big screen at the park. So and he
Yeah.
actually liked the idea and is contemplating it. I think now Jay Ajayi's people are trying to avoid Adam.
Yeah, I mean that could be the that one's clearly ending in penalties. I mean that's 0-0 going into penalties. I think, right?
With like Barcelona versus Real Madrid too, which is like we pull up the best, and neither one of us were keeping posts.
I live vicariously through my 10-year-old playing it because I'm so bad at playing it that I don't even try anymore. I just watch him play. So he's currently he just led the championship in scoring for Swansea and just got promoted to the Premier League. So that's where we are in his career mode right now.
That's pretty impressive that you can turn Swansea around.
Yeah, exactly. We're going up.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell
So-
most people, most of my soccer fandom comes from my career league, my career modes of FIFA, where it just be like, I'll start with the Union, and then I get picked up by like Exeter City or somebody, or it's just like, oh, welcome to Capri. And I'm like, well, now I'm a Capri fan in real life, you know?
That's
I'll pick up a
absolutely right,
jersey.
Adam. That game has gone, in all seriousness, has done such a great job with educating kids about the European game, the teams, the names. You know, I think
It's educated adults.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
there are adults. Like we're joking about Sean Brace. That's literally how he got into soccer. Was playing FIFA, and because he was always, he'll say a meathead 4-for-4 guy. If it wasn't Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, and then he started playing FIFA, and then he's like, "Yo, man, I really like this," and
Now,
that's how he got involved.
I mean, it is a bit fugazi that he choose Manchester United, right? Isn't he
yeah.
United?
Yeah.
So, like, isn't it like as Americans when we arbitrarily have to pick teams, you can't just automatically jump into one of the top. That was so in 2010 was my Premier League experience, and I immediately eliminated the top six, and so it came down to Everton and Liverpool. Because they were two teams at that time that were like right on the edge,
Yeah.
sort of. And because I'm a history teacher, and Everton has great history at Goodison Park, and because Tim Howard was there, I picked Everton, and I picked the most Philadelphia team in all of England to cheer for, because all they do is like in the end let you down and break your heart, right? And then Liverpool's winning all of these championships again, and they're back, and it's like. I literally had a chance to pick any team I wanted, and I picked the most Philadelphia team out there. But I am Everton through and through now.
And it's funny
A
because
proper
Jeff
Everton.
Mitchell,
Yeah.
Jeff Mitchell did the same thing as you, but years before he chose Man City. Because he
Okay.
goes, wait, there's a second team in this city that is always second best, and that's why he picked Man City.
Right.
And then I picked Chelsea only because my roommate back in the days when I interned at Disney was originally from Glasgow, moved to London as a young child, and Chelsea was his team. But we're talking this is early to mid '90s.
They were like almost bankrupt at that point, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were in the Premier League in '93, '94, but they were horrible. They were
Yeah.
mid-level, and I still remember when my buddy Dave Gardner calls me. He goes, "I got good news and bad news." I go, "Oh man, I don't think it's like something in his family. One of our buddies in England." He goes, "Chelsea got bought by a billionaire," and I'm like. What's the bad news? He goes, people are going to think you're a wanker for supporting them. I'm like, I could care less now, man.
I know, right? Guess what? I think that's and this could be me being naively over optimistic, but I think that's the direction Everton's heading in right now. They've got new infusion of dollars. They've got a brand new stadium that's going to be built in Liverpool for them. So Ancelotti getting him as the manager was a huge, huge take. So
and it's funny because if work gets back to where it was, in September. Second week of September, I have a conference in Liverpool. And I was angling every which way to make sure I was on the team that was going out there to set everything up. And people are like, oh, you're going to go to Anfield? I'm like, no, I want to go to Goodison before they rip it down.
Good on you, man. I was
I'm
going
like,
to say,
dude,
man,
I want to be there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm praying everything goes back to normal and just
man.
for selfish reasons, work flies me over there.
Yeah,
But,
can they fly me over there too?
I'll see what I can do. You know,
Nice.
we could use a PA announcer.
Let's do it. I'll just announce that the plane has arrived.
Well,
Plane
I work
has arrived.
I work in trade shows. We can just have you sit there and announce the people that are coming to the pharmaceutical booth.
Yeah.
Doctor, blah blah blah.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I'm in. Let's do
All
it.
right. So Devin,
am
what else
a-
do we have on
good.
board before we?
All right, so we needed some content here. So every week here, I'm gonna come up with a little game for us to play.
Oh no.
Is it like the
So
game
this
we made
week-
Mark Evans play?
This is not that.
Oh,
Speaking
okay.
of speaking of
This is
stinking
gonna be-
Liverpool fans,
I know.
Yeah.
I keep crushing him though between Brady leaving and the Premier League being maybe done. I'm like, oh my god, that sucks. Tom Brady
Wait.
left New England and Liverpool's
Oh.
not going to get the title.
he's a Patriots
you
fan
realize-
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
oh,
a Patriots
he's
fan.
got
Die hard.
He's
He
got
had a
no good
TB12
decision-making
hat
skills.
on when he came here for our podcast. Like he literally had a Tom Brady branded hat
Oh,
on
man.
when he came for the podcast.
I didn't
but
know
I will
that.
say this.
I like him less
Uh,
now.
Oh,
So far, I think I jinxed the Union losing to LAFC, and I ruined the Premier League by saying that there's no way in hell that Liverpool can't win the championship at this point. And they were like, well, there might be one way. And
There
it's
might
just
be
like,
one
oh,
way, yeah.
there might be a way. So this is on me. I apologize to everyone. And as a Chelsea fan via Didier Drogba, I understand a lot of everyone's complaints about top six fans because I'm kind of plastic. I'll admit that. That's a little.
But to some extent,
like, they
I
were
guess,
good.
you know, and a buddy of mine too said too, like, well, that's the way to go because you want to see the team play in those other tournaments, right? So you want to see them in Champions League. So as an American, I guess if we do have our choice, you want to try to pick a team you're going to see them play as much. So I get it too, though. You know, I'm just bitter that I had picked Everton. You know, I guess you know, we're not seeing those competitions, but they're coming. They're going to be here, I believe.
Europa, man. You're going to get a Europa in your future.
I'll take
I
it.
see
I'll take Europa.
I see a Europa in your future.
I'll take it. We'll start there.
As a Tottenham fan, I also see Europa in my future, so I think
Enjoy
Yeah.
the Europa Motel, my boys. Enjoy the Europa Motel.
Thursday, Saturday schedules, man, they're brutal. Or Thursday, Sunday.
You got Tuesdays now, son.
Yeah.
yeah.
You will always see them suffer in Premier League table when they have to play that late week Europa match.
That Europa schedule is so bad. Chelsea winning that last year was fun, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all could also leave this tournament early. That's not a big
Oh,
deal.
yeah.
Right.
Like, we could just save the legs. We really don't need to go the whole way with this one.
Yeah, that's the other thing too, is that not having the NBC Premier League mornings coming April 4th, man. I was so psyched for that.
Don't even. They
Yeah,
better
we
come
were-
back.
I know. Outside of this podcast, my second favorite podcast is Men in Blazers with my boy Raj and Dave.
Oh yeah.
We had producer J Dubs on
Oh,
a
yeah?
couple pods before you. Yeah, J Dubs is a friend of the pod, and we've rolled out the red carpet for them last year when they came into town for their show. So they
I
had
know
us
it.
all up on stage and everything. And afterwards, Adam and I were drinking beers with Raj and Michael Davies, and then me and Adam and Michael Davies were just talking Chelsea.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
that was a great day. But
and
yeah, I
Raj,
love
of
that.
course, is a huge Everton guy, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
here's
Proper
my
Everton.
here's my Raj story. The U.S. women's national team was playing a friendly at Subaru Park, which I guess at that point was probably Talon or might even been PPO. And I see that Raj tweets out that he's at the match with his daughter. And so I immediately respond by saying, "You got to come up in the booth, man. I love Tweed. I love Everton. Like, let's make this
I
happen."
love to weed.
And he says that. So he responds to me, but he's like, "I feel so terrible. Like I didn't see it until I'm on my way back to." And I'm like, "All right, no big deal." About a week later, I get an envelope in the mail, and it's a Men in Blazers patch with a little index card written out by Rod saying, "So sorry I missed you. Hope to catch you again at your jewel of a park," he said down there. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like he could have just left it at that, but so I have my very own Men in Blazers patch that I can sport.
You're a GFOP.
I am a GFOP. Yep.
Look at
But
that.
again,
know,
it's my second favorite podcast after this one, of course.
Perfect.
Well, you
and
can be a-
because
you
of
can be
that,
an
as soon as
FOP.
next time we get in touch with them and we know they're coming to Philly, I'll let you know where the secret location is.
Yes, I would love that. Yes, definitely.
We're gonna we have to put a little hood over your head. It's not that big of a deal, and there will be a white van, but we'll get you to the studio, so it'll be fine.
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right, Devin, is it game time?
All right, we'll do this. All right, it's a Jeopardy style game here.
Oh my!
So we don't have a buzzer, so we're gonna work around that one.
Smack
So
your
we're
TV.
just gonna go around here. We'll start with Adam since it's his birthday.
Oh, appreciate you.
To pick the first question. If Adam gets it right, he can. It'll obviously go to Matt to pick, and then if Adam gets it wrong, somebody else can steal it and get the points.
So
All right.
is it union? What the three categories are?
So
what?
here's the
Yeah,
categories.
give it to me.
We got 3 categories here. We got Sons of Ben.
Mhm.
We got Union on the field
Mhm.
and Union off the field.
What?
And I'm very interested to see how you guys do on these Sons of Ben questions because I have a feeling Matt's gonna embarrass himself at some point.
I'm
here.
excited about that. So let me do union on the field for 100, Alex.
All right, we got Union on the field. Pretty easy one here. Who has the most assists in Union history?
Oh God. Vincent Noguera.
Wrong.
Okay.
You didn't put it in the
Accept
form of
it.
a question either.
Yeah. Who is
What
Sebastian
is-
Latou?
Yes, there you go. Matt gets the points there.
That seemed like a gimme.
I thought that was a common knowledge one. There,
Well,
so.
you know, I think I psyched myself out because I was gonna say Latou, but I was just like, that can't be it. So I just
You're right. It's too obvious. This is easy until you're actually in the hot seat.
Right? It's like,
Now-
it's like
now-
asking a hockey question, and it's like Gretzky. It's like, oh yeah.
So Devin, I have to go now.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I have to do
You pick there.
Sons of Ben for 100 there.
There you go. All right. When was the Sons of Ben founded? What year?
2007.
2008.
What is
There you
2007?
go. There you go.
Let's-
Another 100 points to Matt.
Let's
there.
roll this on to
Oh, boy.
Sons of Ben 200. Come on.
Sons of Ben 200. We got which Philadelphia Union member misread the 2010 name tag that led to?
I got
Who
it. I
is
got it.
Nick
That's me.
Sakevich?
Whoa! You didn't buzz in.
Oh no! Give that to
There's
Kevin.
the-
Kevin
Who is
said, "Ooh,
Nick
I got
Sakevich,
it."
man?
Before
There it is.
I was there. I was in the room on that one.
I couldn't even say his last name because I'm Polish.
I got inside baseball right here. I love it.
Yeah.
Now I guess I
I mean, I
relinquish
guess-
the board then, don't I? Wow.
I'll
All
take
right. Well,
Union off the field for 1,000
1,000.
or whatever you got. It doesn't matter.
What's
Okay.
our highest number? Is it what?
You want the highest one? We got 100, 200, 300,
Yeah, I'll
400.
take 400.
Thank you.
400. All right. Off the field for 400, we got. Oh, this is a hard one. The Union's colors are navy blue and gold, representing what?
The
Oh, I got
Philadelphia
it. That's
City
going to
flag.
be negative. It's actually the colors of the Continental Army during the American Revolution.
No way. Wow.
Wow.
Devin.
Okay.
Wow.
Devin, I'm the history teacher, brother.
Oh, well, I just
yeah.
assumed it was the city flag because that made
I
sense
thought
to me.
that's what everybody would say because usually that's what everybody
city
says
flag.
for the
My
flag.
internet
but that's
crapped
just
out.
a
I was ready.
coincidence. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so another 400 points over there.
I'm showing zero
to
knowledge
Mr.
of this
Kevin.
franchise right now.
Guess I was telling Matt earlier. Like I feel like I know so little of Union trivia when it comes, and I've seen every home match, right? So I see like highlights of games, and I can't really remember so what I don't know. I guess I'm just not very good at it. I'm gonna go Union off the field for 300.
Union off the field for 300. What was the attendance for the inaugural match versus Seattle? I'm looking for a range here, so between 1,000 and 2,000.
I'm gonna say. Oh,
you
go
know.
ahead. So I'm gonna buzz
31,000.
in. I'm
Yeah, go ahead. It's your
gonna
question.
say
yeah.
38.
I'm sorry. Oh, is that how we're doing? I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
38? That is wrong. Adam, Matt. Either
Yeah,
you
I'll go
guys?
with 31,000. We're gonna price this right this one.
Also wrong.
Okay.
I'm going to go with what is 42,000 people.
Also wrong. I would have taken 35 or 36.
Are you kidding me,
It
man? I was
it
closest without.
I was
Not the
close
Price is
without
Right.
going over.
So it did 1,000 there. All right, so we'll throw it over to Adam there.
Okay. Union on the field for 200.
On the field for 200. Name the goal scorers in the Union's first playoff win versus Red Bull.
Oh, Red Bull. Oh, okay. I was about to be like, are you going to be the Houston question? Okay.
No,
You
this is,
have Jack Elliott, Alejandro Bedoya,
Yep.
Fafa Pakal, and Marco Fabian.
There it is.
I remember the
job.
most recent game the Union played at home. Congratulations, me.
Yes.
Sebastian
right.
scored in the Houston game first. I just saw that highlight recently. It's the only reason I know that. I don't remember it. But he scored in
I was
like
about
the
to straight
6th
up say
minute
Roger
or something
Torres.
like that. Yeah. Hey, here's one
Nice.
for you. Can I just interject this real quick? So we were talking about this earlier. The Union just sent out the picture of the starting 11 from March 25th. There's a guy in that lineup named David Myrie. Does anybody remember a David Myrie? He was in the Union starting 11 March 25th.
Did he like win a
2010.
contest as like fan of the week and he got into the picture or something?
I think so. Now Tony Stahl was the other one that I didn't recognize, but the name at least
Tony
sounds
Stahl,
more familiar
yeah.
to me. I don't
I
think
do
David
remember Tony
Myrie. Something
Stahl.
weird happened with him where he got hurt or something and never really played again. I think for the Union.
I think Joe Biden's Secret Service took him out like after the first like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's why I never
have-
saw him play because I was still in the security line trying to get back in.
Yeah. Right.
There's been members of that 2010 team where I just sometimes look at that roster and I'm just like, right, yes, you did play soccer, yes.
But they did have still one of my top 5 all-time favorite names, which is Danny Mwanga.
Oh,
Right, that was one of my
Mwanga.
favorite names to say, and even the song you guys sang for.
Oh,
Danny
Adam's
was
trying not to
all-time.
sing it right now. I can see him on the
Yeah,
camera.
right.
I'm singing it in my head. What do you mean? It's you can't hear Danny Mwanga and not do this song. It's just a natural.
Oh, Danny
Danny
Mwanga. I'll help you. I'll go for it first.
Oh, Danny Mwanga. I mean, sorry. That's just a
There's our new intro.
right. Please.
All right, go ahead, Devin. Who's up?
All right, well, we're halfway through here. Scoreboard is currently Kevin with 600, Adam with 200, and Matt with 100.
Whoa, I have
Coming
200.
up.
So,
Man, you're ripping me
200.
off.
There we go. Ripping you off there.
That's
All
that
right.
horse.
Matt, I think it was Matt's turn to pick.
Well,
a
then I got
question
to go
here,
with
so.
Sons of Ben for, I guess, what, 300s on the board?
Yeah.
Let me get my
300
buzzer
on
ready.
the board there. All right, Sons of Ben 300. The Sons of Ben Code of Conduct consists of 4 simple, common sense rules members are expected to follow. What are
Can I
they?
go on
Wear
this, or did
pants.
someone buzz in?
It's all, well, Matt gets the first chance, and if he gets
No
it
red
wrong,
in the
you
river
guys
end.
can Jump in here. No.
What?
That is not a rule.
I literally pulled this
That is
straight
not a
from the Sons
rule.
of Ben
That's not
website,
a
word
yeah,
for word.
That's,
So,
Wow. I'm going to
that's
rewrite
a
that right now.
guideline. It's not a rule. It's not the code of conduct.
the Code of
No,
Conduct.
no sitting.
That's not a Sons of Ben. That's more of a river end.
Oh,
Yeah, because we have many Sons of Ben members outside. The
Ah.
ring,
Yeah.
So
all right.
yeah.
Adam, do you want to take a stab at this
I
one?
would say, whew.
We see you
Yeah, I'm
Googling,
pass.
Adam.
I'm
All
not
right.
even gonna pretend like I am googling. I'm just gonna pass now.
All right, the pulled straight from the Sons of Ben website here. The answer is be loud, be proud, be smart, and be passionate. It's
I'm pretty sure that's
right from the
We're
I'm pretty
going to
sure
be
that's
changing
mobile.
that real
might have been
soon.
outdated.
Yeah, that needs some work.
Be loud.
getting changed tomorrow.
That's in need for an update for sure.
All right.
Do I still get to keep the
Pick
board
some good
then?
questions here. I think it goes to Kevin.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like that
okay.
idea too. All right, I'm gonna go. What's left in Union off the field?
Unit off the field, we got 100 and 200 there.
Let's go 200.
200 off the field. Name all 3 coaches and all 3 sporting directors in the Union's history.
Oh man! All right, Peter Novak,
Yep.
John Hackworth,
Yep.
Jim
Mhm.
Curtin,
Yep.
Ernst Tanner.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, my name is blanking on Ernie's last name.
I'll take Ernie.
Okay,
I'll take that.
That's bad. Ernie Stewart.
Ernie
Thank you.
Stewart?
Yeah. Before Ernie,
First one.
Gosh, I remember. Wasn't there a time when there wasn't one?
Oh, there
I think I'm
was.
out. Yeah, I don't think I know the first one or can remember it off the top of my head. Help me out, boys.
I'll give you half credit here if somebody else, and then somebody else can get half credit if they get the other one here.
It was Nick
I feel like
Sakevich.
Matt.
Ready?
Yeah, I feel like Matt has that one.
No, Nick Sakevich was
No.
the sporting director and the business person. He tied both into one.
The name I pulled from Wikipedia was Diego Gutierrez.
Oh,
that does ring a bell.
yeah, because
There you
Nick's
go.
the reason we had 18 goalkeepers.
So we'll split those points up there. I'll give Kevin 100 there.
Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, Adam, pick one here. We got 400 for Sons of Ben, 3 and 4 for on the field, and 100 for off the field.
Let's do 100 off the field because
All
I'm
right.
struggling.
Name of the bridge above Subaru Park.
That should be a 50. Commodore Barry.
All right.
The Commodore Barry. Now, if you want me to give you the history of why it's called the Commodore Barry, I'm not going to, but I could.
I got that.
Yeah.
He's like, I have this one now. Yeah, I got that one.
All right, Matt, you're up.
I kind of keep going with the challenge that I suck at the history of the Sons of Ben. So Sons of Ben.
You are the president, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Literally,
94% of the vote, but I did run. I ran unopposed, and I only got 94% of the vote.
Those
We're
other
gonna-
six.
I voted-
Those other 6 must have knew what they were talking about.
They
with your
must have.
knowledge
I
of
voted for
Sons of Ben
Harambe.
history.
I voted for Harambe. I'm sorry.
All right, 400 for Sons of Ben. What is the meaning of the oar and scythe in the Sons of Ben logo?
I've always wondered that.
The meaning. Well, I'll go with that. The meaning of that is the scythe is for agricultural in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the oar is for the nautical trading. That Philly was a trading port.
There it is.
400
All right.
big ones.
Matt jumps up to second place now. We got 2 questions left.
Ooh.
All
Started
right.
from the bottom.
Kevin, you got 300, 400 for on the field.
I'll take 400.
400. All right. The Union scored 35 goals in the inaugural season. How many of those did Letou either have a goal or an assist on?
I think it's like 36 of them. I'm
I'll
gonna
take
say
it plus and minus 1.
only one.
Generous.
Dear Lord.
400 point question here. You gotta. You're a history teacher. I gotta give you the hard
Alex
question here.
I'm a
Back
history
over
teacher,
there.
not a math teacher. I'm gonna say it's pretty high. I'm gonna go 30.
The correct answer. Oh wait, do you guys want to steal it? You guys want to? That's wrong.
Yeah.
But you guys
I'm
can. I'll let you go.
this
through
is.
it.
I'll go 26.
Okay, that is right. 20,
Oh, well done. Adam.
Yes. Let's go.
the correct answer is 25.
Oh, my
But 26
birthday.
is close
25. Yeah.
I'll take
Well done.
26.
How
Well
many
done.
goals
Job,
did
Adam.
he have that year?
I think he had like 17 or some stuff, but he assisted a crap ton of
Yeah.
them, which is really the thing about it.
All right, so we have one question left. Adam and Kevin are tied for first place
Well,
with
let's go.
700 points.
You,
And Matt's got 600 in second, so
We still
y'all
have
don't
Final
want me to
Jeopardy,
win
though,
this.
right?
I'll think of a final Jeopardy question.
I'm about to say, y'all
I got one
definitely
written
don't
down
want me
here
to
I
win
can-
this
I
because
can
I'm going
do.
to be obnoxious.
All right, so I guess it goes to Adam. So you get to do the last one here.
So, yeah, Union Oh, was it on the field
Yeah,
for
on
4?
the field 300.
Oh, 3. Union on the field for 3.
Which years did the Union make it to the Open Cup final?
2014, 2016, 2000. Oh, wait. No. It was 14, 15, 18.
There it is.
There it is.
14, 15, 18.
There
I
it
would
is,
not have
14.
gotten that. I'm
Correct.
terrible.
Yeah.
I would
it
tell
was
you the
back
teams,
to
right?
back.
Seattle, Sporting Kansas City, and Houston, right?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, it was Seattle. We went to extra time, lost 3-1. Kansas City, we went to penalties. Andrew Wanger missed a sitter. And the Houston game, we just got kicked, like literally walked off the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody go to the Houston game?
Yep.
Yeah, I was there for that one too.
Yeah, we were there. We were probably louder than Houston for the first 8 minutes.
Wasn't that fun? that walk from the barbecue joint where we were eating, and then from there to the stadium. That walk was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. The best part about the barbecue thing, one of our members, Kevin Leach, saw Sugarman was sitting there with a couple of the owners, and he goes,
Uh-huh.
should I buy them a shot? I'm like, well, they make more money than you, but if you want to, go ahead. Every owner except Shugs did the shot.
I love
So
it.
last time I saw Shugs, I go, dude, you not drinking that shot ruined the cup. And he goes, all right, next time I'll do the shot.
Yeah,
like,
that was a
that's
cool
fair.
experience.
That's fair.
You know
Yeah.
what's cool about that experience is not ever getting to have that experience, right? So I don't ever get a chance to do the walk in or.
Did
or
you get
be
to
part of that,
well,
so.
you know what? Maybe that's part next March, and you come in with us, then into the
Yeah.
river and do the 11 from there, and then to the booth.
That's what I'm saying. I'm in for that.
I think we should be doing that.
All right.
Didn't they do that with the Phillies? Like T-Mac and John Kruk. I think they did it from the outfield one game. Where they
Yes.
just did the
Yeah.
whole
They did. You're
broadcast
right.
from the bleachers. So yeah,
Devin's
that
like, will they
sounds
just
like
stop talking so we can finish this Jeopardy game and I can be done with this?
I think we got enough of this. Adam came in first there with 1,000, and Kevin in second with 700, and Matt in last with 600.
It's my birthday.
That's why we did it. We threw it for you, Adam.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Don't expect a
birthday.
card.
Hey, all right, wait a minute. I got one. Here's your final Jeopardy question. You guys ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
I just saw this on
Ooh.
Wikipedia when I was looking this up. So
Nice.
the first ever competitive match played by the Union was against whom? So now we gotta go-
Oh
this
my
is-
God!
So the first
Oh,
time the
that was-
Union put on they put on shirts and played a competitive match, who was it against?
Was it a Mexican or a South American team, right?
No.
No?
I thought it was a
Like
college.
a friendly against.
What's
It
that,
was a
Adam?
college.
You
it was
are
a
you're
college,
correct. You're right.
Yes. I'm forgetting what college it was, but it was a college. Was it a local school?
It was not. No.
Or was it
must
down
have
in
been
Florida?
I guess. It must have been in
Yes,
Florida.
it was probably like
But
one
it
of those,
wasn't
like,
a Florida
like
team
FI
either.
Like, oh, who was it? Who was it?
North Carolina Tar Heels.
Ah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I knew it was a college team, but I completely forgot. Wow. People forget the Carolinas are really into that soccer down there.
Yeah.
You know, that's
That's
a hotbed.
good on your part to know it was a college team. I would never have gotten that.
Yeah, no, I knew that one, and I forget because you know what? I always tell people this story. I was in boarding school the year that the Union got their start going, and I met the guy who eventually ran the academy for a while. This nice Irish gentleman who ran the academy for a while, and so I got super into following them for the first couple of weeks that they were going and all that, and I saw like their first match. I didn't see the match, but I saw that their first match was like
Yeah.
against them, and then I saw like the schedule and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I remember that very vaguely, but I
That's
do
awesome.
remember that.
Awesome.
Devin, do we have any other housekeeping, or
That's all I
we
got. That's all I
we
got.
wrapping this up? Well, Kevin, thanks for jumping on with us, even though a 1 hour pod turns feels like 4 hours, but that was
I was just going to
technical
ask if this
difficulties.
is the record for longest pod of all time, including the time that it took the 8 links for Devin to get us going here.
Oh, with that by far the longest
Yes. I
love it.
podcast ever. Time wise, it also might be the longest
Yes.
podcast ever. To be honest with you.
All
But
right,
least amount of beers, I think.
Well, that just it. Just
Yep.
promise me next
Don't
time.
hold so.
Next time we're all out and back in civilization again, that I can come back on when we are at so we can hang
Oh,
out.
yeah.
We
Whoa,
definitely-
whoa, I gotta-
you gotta
I gotta
bleep that
bleep
one
that.
out at
We
the
gotta
You gotta bleep that out.
At the
You
secret
gave out the bunker.
My bad. I didn't realize it was
How-
a secret location.
Thank God the world's
can't-
ending and we won't be there anymore.
It's
My kidnapping techniques will not be for naught if
I know where to come.
you can cut this.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Wash your hands. Stay away from people that you don't know, and other life lessons that you probably learned in kindergarten. And thanks a lot, Kevin, for coming on to this.
My pleasure, man. I had a blast, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you so much.